Next on Worcester News tonight, Worcester police investigating the city's second homicide of the year as friends and family mourn the death of a young man. Plus, a local organization reaching out and educating the community on Question 3 ahead of November's election. But first, we begin in Worcester. A lawsuit's been filed by the city against 8 opioid drug manufacturers and distributors. Good evening, I'm Anna Botari. The complaint alleges the prescription opioids are a gateway drug to heroin. According to the city, this is based on data saying about 80% of heroin users got their start with prescription opioids. The city says the epidemic has cost the city, including increases in first responders, cost of Narcan in training, as well as employee health care claims and the creation of addiction programs. In a statement, City Manager Edward Augustus says in part, the city is seeking damages not just to be reimbursed for its expenses, but also to halt the unlawful practices and find a way to end the opioid heroin connection that has cost so many lives and created so much hardship. A local organization is reaching out and educating the community on Question 3 ahead of November's election. Voting yes would keep Massachusetts transgender non-discrimination laws in place. Freedom for All Massachusetts opened their office in Worcester just last month. Regional Field Director Pai Fong says Worcester has had a non-discrimination law protecting public places since 2014. The organization has been doing outreach, including phone calls and going door to door in Worcester County neighborhoods to encourage voters to vote yes.
Non-discrimination law is so important because it sends a message about who is welcome here in Massachusetts and how we treat people in Massachusetts fairly. Voting yes on 3 will help make sure that transgender people continue to feel safe, protected, and welcome right here in Massachusetts.
Fong says there are currently 1,500 volunteers who are taking action for Freedom for All Massachusetts. It's the 3rd year of early voting in Worcester, and the city says it's working. According to the Election Commission, voter turnout increased by 4% from 2012 to 2016. In its first year, 16% of people voted early. The primary race is heating up among Democrats running for the state representative in the 17th Worcester District, and the candidates all support early voting. Candidate Stu Loosemore says the main goal of early voting is increasing convenience and participation.
There are some people that can't make it to the polls on election day for whatever reason. Work schedule, childcare, travel, transportation. You start to create more days that people can go and vote. You can increase participation.
It allows citizens to participation in government. It gives folks more time to vote.
If you're someone like myself who's registered to vote in the 17th Worcester District, I can go over to the 13th Worcester District over where Worcester State is and cast my ballot.
According to the city, 22% of voters in the state took advantage of early voting in 2016's presidential election. A double shooting in Worcester Sunday leaves 1 man dead. It's the city's second homicide of the year. Police are now investigating while friends and family of the young man are mourning his death. Our Rosalind Flaherty has the details.
A makeshift memorial grows on Sturgis Street in Worcester. It's where a 23-year-old man was shot and killed early Sunday morning. A second victim, a 28-year-old man, was injured and is in serious condition.
Very shocking. Very shocking.
Edgar Velez says he was good friends with the 23-year-old victim, who he identifies by the nickname of Jompy.
He was a good guy, always smiling, never looks for trouble.
Witnesses told police a male had come from the side of a home and fired several shots before fleeing the scene around 2:30 a.m. 3 parked cars were hit by stray bullets. Broken glass was still visible Monday.
There were several people there, perhaps an after-hours party, so we're still trying to talk and interview the many people that were there.
Police are working to identify the suspect. They believe the shooting is not random, but are not ruling anything out.
We have limited suspect information at this time, but we are conducting the interviews and canvassing the neighborhood and trying to see if there's any security footage that may have captured that.
As Velez comes to grips with what happened, he just wants his friend to be remembered as a great person.
For me to see this, it's not easy.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Worcester police releasing the name of the woman who was found face down in the water at Lake Park Saturday. Police are investigating the death of 38-year-old Marlene Blue. They say it's unclear if she drowned. The exact cause of the death is still unknown, pending results from the medical examiner's office. Police releasing these photos of Blue in her vehicle. They're asking anyone who may have seen her or her car in the days leading up to her death to call. Police say Blue visited Lake Park often during the past few months. Dudley police seize 90 grams of crack cocaine and arrest 4 people Sunday morning. Dudley police, along with the help of 2 other law enforcement agencies, executed a search warrant at 10 William Street in Dudley. According to police, they found 90 grams of crack cocaine, more than $3,000 in cash, and a loaded gun. 4 people ages 28 to 44 were arrested and are facing numerous charges, including trafficking cocaine. Switching gears now, according to analysis gathered by WalletHub, Massachusetts has been ranked #1 in the U.S. for best public schools. WalletHub compared the 50 states and the District of Columbia across 25 different factors. The factors they account for in the ranking include performance, funding, and safety. Other high-ranking schools include New Jersey, Connecticut, and New Hampshire. Worcester's oldest brick building, dating back to the 1700s, will soon have a new purpose. The Elwood Adams was formerly home to the oldest hardware store in the country, but the building will now transform into apartment units and retail space. This is according to the owner's Brady Mack Capital Advisory. Principal Hugh McLaughlin says downtown Worcester is a great location for development. He says there'll be about a dozen units in the building, and he's glad he could repurpose the historic Main Street building. He hopes the project will be completed by early 2020. The Battle of the Badges is returning to Worcester for its 2nd year, and the American Red Cross says it couldn't come at a better time. The annual event pits Worcester Police against Worcester Fire to see who can get the most people to donate blood. Hundreds of people came to the DCU Center to donate last year, making the Battle of the Badges the largest blood drive in central Massachusetts. The Red Cross says they're currently in an emergency need for blood donations. Donors will receive a Big E ticket, lunch, and the first 100 will get free Massachusetts Pirates tickets. The blood drive is this Thursday starting at 10 a.m.